Hey folks, Post here, welcome back to another Pokemon Masters video, and with the Mewtwo event coming back, I guess we should probably do another guide for how to beat the Mewtwo event as quick as possible, so we don't spend the next 2 weeks of our lives. Well, it's not around for 2 weeks. It ends on, let's see, ends on the 15th. That's what, 9 days? So we don't spend the next 9 days doing nothing but grinding Mewtwo's event, right? So obviously Mewtwo incredibly strong. I already did a video showcasing Mewtwo yesterday, max 20 out of 25 out of 5. If you have the time, as long as you have maybe, let's say, an hour, 2 hours a day, do your best to try and max out Mewtwo. Maxing out Mewtwo is pretty important because it's going to come back in the future, even if you don't max it out this time, but it's going to take a while. And on the other hand, Mewtwo is incredible. It's one of the best strikers in the game, and it's free. It's free. Like, as a Psychic striker, it's better than the summonable 5-star Caitlyn. As a Ghost-type striker, it's way better than Chantel or Gengar. It's not even close, right? So, do Mewtwo. Please, 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 please. Like last time, I'm begging you guys, max out Mewtwo. If you got time, you know, if you, as long as you have time to max him out, max him out. So, anyways, let's go over the quickest way to get this guy maxed out, right? So again, folks don't spend like all 9 days trying to do this and not even getting to their goal afterwards. So, you get vouchers from doing these stages, and then you need to use those vouchers to exchange for Mewtwo. Or at least the stage to get Mewtwo, and also power-ups for Mewtwo, which, again, you should all get. And also, there's two different kind of vouchers. There's the red one, and there's the, not red one, I don't know, silver one, I guess. And, yeah, so the main ones you're trying to go for is the silver ones, the custom voucher ones, the non-super vouchers. So there are basically 3 stages that a lot of people are doing. I'll go over each of them and then time them, and then we'll see how many vouchers we get per run, right? So just to see which one is the most efficient. And there's also a lot of different team comps and builds that you could do. So first of all, let's go ahead and do the single player mode, because I've heard a lot of people been saying, oh, single player is good, single player is good, single player is really quick, and all that stuff. So first of all, do keep in mind, if you do want to do single player, you have to have Mewtwo first, and probably, you know, level Mewtwo up a bit, because single player, the stage is weak to Psychic and Ghost, and all the other Psychic type strikers don't do it as quick as Mewtwo does, even Mew, even including Mew, right? So as for the supports, just bring stuff with like move gauge and stuff. If you don't have Delbert, don't worry, you could just put in like regular Rosa, that should be fine. As for a second support, I guess I'm just gonna put in, let's do Alyssa, Signature Alyssa, should be good. And here's the, and I remember, keep in mind, my Mewtwo is like fully maxed out, 5 out of 5, 20 out of 20, so I would assume most of you guys aren't maxed out, because, or else why would you be watching this video? But yeah, yours would probably clear, you know, probably spend slightly longer to clear it in comparison to me. So let's get into this. Let me get the timer up over here, and there we go. We got a stopwatch, kind of, sorta. And let's get into it. And as soon as Giovanni's face pops up, we'll click the start button over there. All right, or I guess the first person's face shows up. Hopefully we don't sync move here. I don't want Mewtwo to get sync cores. I mean, I don't mind if Mewtwo gets sync cores, but it would be nice if I could save it for Rotom. Oh, Rotom's in the match. Never mind. I guess I'll just click sync on Rotom. But we're trying to do this scientifically, so don't want to screw up the auto thing though. Anyways, well, here comes sync move for Mewtwo. Oh, no, whatever. I'll just take it for Mewtwo. I don't want to alter the results too much. Again, I'll be showcasing all of these on auto because most people don't have the time to do it manually, right? Even though manually is much better and much quicker. So seems like it took about around a minute, give or take a minute, right, to complete this. Let's see how many vouchers we get at the end. Yay, Mewtwo Sync Orb. I was hoping they'd drop a Mewtwo expanded Synchrid with this event. Unfortunately, they didn't. But oh well. So basically, 20 custom vouchers, custom voucher ones, right? So let's do some quick maths here. 20. Oh, oops, that's not 20. That's 30. I can't see where's Oh, there it is. And 20 divided by, how long was it? 60 seconds, right? So per second, we're getting 0.33 vouchers. All right, so keep that in mind. 0.33 vouchers per second, 20 per minute, I guess, around that. So let's go ahead and try co-op now. Let's start with hard. A lot of people are talking about hard as well. So we'll do 2 different runs with hard. We'll do one run with Charizard as our main striker, and another run with Karen, just to see which one is more effective in these two, because I see a lot of people bringing both these two up as well. And to keep everything else constant, we're gonna go in with NPCs, right? And honestly, NPCs are probably safer, just because with randos, you don't know what they're gonna bring, right? I've seen randos bring blue. Blue makes no sense in this event. So anyways, let's reset the stopwatch, and let's get into this then. All right, How and Alyssa for the sides. The reason why people are using red on hard is you could actually use red on hard in comparison to super hard. Like super hard, you kind of can't really do that, and we'll talk about that when we get to super hard. All right, so my Houndoom is fully gridded, by the way, 5 out of 5, 0 out of 20, but fully sync gridded with overpower and just general dark pulse buffs. I think that's the grid I have right now. I'm pretty sure, and yeah, just keep that in mind as well. That's the second Entertain Me. Half of a minute has already passed. And none of the sides have gone down yet, and now they are. Now they're dead. 20 seconds left for the single player benchmark. Right. Okay. Still snarling, I see. Yeah, vampies aren't helping too much here. I mean, well, actually, to be fair, they help taking out the first set of sides. All right, we're officially past the first minute mark. So there's that. After this, we should be able to use our sync move, which should deal a okay-ish amount of damage. Also, do keep in mind, I don't think I didn't do any snarl nodes. I just went like full dark pulse in my build. So it's looking to be around 90 seconds or so, right? So a bit over that. Alright, there we go. So a minute 45, right? Just take out the 5 just for, I guess, easier calculation. So let's say a minute 40. So that's what, 100 seconds for how many tickets? 21. So let's just, you know what? Let's put in 21. Why not? 21 divided by how long was it? 100 seconds, right? So that's 0.21 tickets per second. That's obviously much slower, but on the bright side, you also do get custom super vouchers as well. So you're getting, let's see, no, that's, oops, 60. So you're getting like around 7 vouchers or so less per run in comparison to single player, right? Or not per run, per minute. And you are, on the other hand, getting 20 of the super or custom super vouchers, whatever you call them. And you know, these are not bad. Like, you could exchange them for like a lot of good stuff, right? You could exchange them for Elite 4 notes, More importantly, you could exchange them for these level up manuals, which 5 of these gives you 10 gold manuals. That's a really good deal. Again, with this, I got to like I maxed out my level up manuals easily when the Rayquaza event was still around. So that's a really good deal. You can still get Elite 4 notes, which are really nice as well. So, you know, just depends on what you need. These are all nice if you have extra. So let's try this again, except with red, because some people are trying to use red for this one as well, right? So let's swap red in here and see how well red does. Red does not have type advantage. However, red does deal a lot of damage. Just straight up damage, right? So red does have a gear in this case. Also, do keep in mind my red is 5 out of 5, 20 out of 20 with max fire gear. So might be a bit quicker than most of your reds. All right, let's see how this goes. And all right, let's go. Set the timer up. All right, my destiny. Okay, red's AI. Oh well. Again, since everyone's just going to be doing this auto, I don't think there would be too much of a point doing showcase manual. Although I will talk about manual because manual is pretty important. Because manual could save you a lot of time when we start talking about very hard. In the previous stages, not so much. Manual's mostly for very hard. And super hard if you're still fighting that. Although you don't farm anything from super hard. Super hard just gives you like 300 gems on the first run. Doesn't give you any vouchers or whatever. So that one's just for the 300 gems you get. Alright, heat waving. 47, 49, 50, 51, 52. Are we doing better than Houndoom at this point? I don't know. Also, there's a lot of RNG involved with red in comparison to Houndoom. With move gauge regen and all the sync move countdown. Alright. RNG, like, in a good way, though. Definitely in a good way. And there we go. We got a good roll of RNG there. And we should be able to end this right now, I would assume. And there we go. Mewtwo is down. So, basically, nothing... I mean, slightly quicker. It's not, like, that big of a difference, honestly. Let's just do a quick one over here, right? So that's what, 21, or, well, I mean, they slightly vary. See how much we get over here. I mean, 18, 19. Let's just do 20. I think 20 is good average, right? 20 divided by, how long was that? 90 seconds, right? Around 90 seconds. 0.22, so like slightly quicker than using Houndoom in this case, right? So not much of a difference, and again, there's a lot of variances between these battles and stuff, right? There's a lot of variables, so let's just count them as basically the same. So moving on to very hard. So very hard, there's a lot to talk about. So very hard, for one, don't use Charizard. Do not use Charizard, especially if yours isn't as strong as mine. If it's not 20 out of 20, right, and you don't have max fire gear. Reason being, you will get wrecked. Solrock has Rock Tomb, and it very likely, again, if you don't have 20 out of 20, you don't have max out 2-star fire gear, your Charizard is gonna get one shot by Solrock, and there's no case of, oh, what if I'm lucky or whatever, and I just avoid it. No, you're not gonna avoid them. You're not gonna avoid them because Charizard will draw aggro in co-op. If the opponent has any super effective moves against any of the Pokemon on your side, they will target the one that they're super effective against. So they'll hit your Charizard right away. So don't bring in Charizard. Charizard is subject to either 1 or 2 shot, right? If you're lucky, 2 shot. If you're not, 1 shot from Solrock, right? So if we're not bringing Charizard, who are we supposed to bring? Well, a good option is Houndoom. There's quite a few options. Houndoom, for one, is probably one of the better options. Actually, it's probably the best option for auto. Just because Houndoom doesn't get 1 shot. And with the sync grid, Houndoom is just extremely powerful. So let's do that, and let's put Grimsley in the second spot. Not because of Grimsley's Snatch or whatever. I see a lot of people talking about Snatch and stuff. I find Grimsley kind of underwhelming. Like, even after you snatch like a max buff from the opponent, like, you're still doing around like 600 something damage for Dark Pulse. That's actually kind of sad. But to be fair, my Grimsley is not sync grid, so it could be losing some damage, but it can't be that much. And in comparison, a fully set up Houndoom in comparison does like 4.2k or something on a Dark Pulse. So do keep some of that stuff in mind. Anyways, let's get into this and let's see how good this run is. So again, this is just for auto. We'll talk about some manual units we could use after we get into the battle, which somehow failed for some reason. Okay, let's try this again, I guess. All right, let's connect friends, except not really connect friends. We'll go with NPCs. The NPCs in Very Hard are much better. I think it's like one Grimsley and one Karen, if I remember correctly. Yep, one Karen, one Grimsley. This will definitely help, especially if you unlocked Overpowered with Houndoom's grid, right? All right, let's start the timer and see how this goes. Okay. Guard plus. Guard plus again. But yeah, basically, if you want to auto, if you don't want to like worry about any of this at all, don't want to do any of this manually, just start Houndoom and then go to Grimsley. If you don't have Houndoom, then I guess start Grimsley and then go into like something else. If you don't have either of them, then start Sceptile. Sceptile is actually not bad here. Just because Sceptile just does a lot of damage, and Sceptile also chooses its targets really well because, if I remember correctly, I think Solrock was the one that's weak to physical attacks, which Sceptile's Bullet Seed can deal with, and then Lunatone was weak to special, I believe, or was it the other way around? Anyways, in the area details, you can check that out, right? I'll go check it out afterwards. But one of them's weak to physical attacks, one of them's weak to special attacks. And Sceptile has them both, so Sceptile's really good in this scenario, right? Not as good as Karen, right? Especially with the sync grid now. Karen actually used to be terrible in this stage, by the way, if you guys didn't know. Some bit of Poem Master's history here. Here comes Unity. But yeah, those are options. Those are definitely options. Either that or Olivia, just because it's Olivia, and Olivia is just great, right? So yeah, those are all decent options you could do if you're playing auto. But yeah, that's kind of about it. If you don't really have any of those, like maybe your Mewtwo after you've leveled it up a bit, but otherwise I don't really know. All right, here should be around, I would say, 2 minutes, right? I think that's a safe mark to say. Around 2 minutes to finish this thing. Ouch. And here comes Dark Pulse. So basically what we do have Grimsley in the back for is just in case Houndoom dies. Oops, forgot to stop it. But yeah, just in case Houndoom dies and Grimsley can step up, do a snatch, and then go sync, because Grimsley's sync move can still do a lot of damage against red, even though Dark Pulse doesn't do like bad damage, just not, it's not nothing much compared to what Houndoom's output could do, right, after you sync with Dark Pulse. Although, to be fair, Houndoom takes a while to sync, so there's that as well. But anyways, here we go. Let's say 41 over here. Let's go with 130 seconds, 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and oops, let's not do 40 divided by 130 seconds, and that's around 0.3 vouchers per second, right? So basically in a minute, you're getting slightly less than what you would in solo player, but you are also getting these. You're also getting the custom super vouchers, so that's pretty good, right? But anyways, that's not like the only way you could do it. Those are like all the autos, the auto methods for doing this. But if you have time on your hands, if you don't want to auto, there definitely is a better way to do this, and that involves using the one and only Bryson, which has like one use ever, which is to be used in this stage, because Bryson is just so good for the stage. Bryson is incredible for the stage. So let's go ahead with Bryson, and we'll just quickly show the reason why Bryson's really good here. So it's not necessary, you don't need Bryson to win it, right? But Bryson just helps so much in this scenario. Especially if you are playing with randos, if you're not playing with NPCs, right? I see a lot of randos bringing Charizard. So what you want to do with Bryson is wait for Mewtwo to use its move. Oh, there it goes, the ultimate power, and then go Haze. However, do keep in mind, do be mindful that if you are playing with randos and not NPCs or whatever, and someone brings like a Grimsley, wait for the Grimsley to use Snatch before you Haze. If there's Grimsleys, wait for them to use Snatch first, or else you're kind of screwed. So what Haze does is just reverts all the increased stats on the opponent's side back to normal, so that like +6 special attack and like crit and whatever, all that stuff, those just get completely nullified, and you just get like completely saved there, right? I know a lot of people bring red still, even in very hard, even though red just gets one shot. But if you do bring in Bryson and manually do a Haze and then swap into whatever your DPS is, right? That will the reds are still kind of screwed. I mean, depends on the red, right? Depends on the gear, on the build, and all that stuff. Generally, and also depends on their luck. But it will save your team. It's gonna save your team. They're not gonna do as much damage. They're gonna do way less damage. So like so as long as someone used Bryson, it's basically 100% guarantee that you're not gonna lose this one. Like even with like just sub-optimal strikers that randos are bringing in, right? I see people like bringing Lance, which makes no sense at all, especially for randos, right? So there's that. Also, I see people trying to bring supports, which generally is a really good gesture. And in a lot of other cases, in a lot of other co-ops cases, when folks don't have good enough strikers. But like, we don't really need supports here. Like maybe move gauge, like you throw in a Rosa Delibird or Superior, right? But generally you just don't need supports. Houndoom gets max crit and max special attack easily by itself. Grimsley could do that with Snatch, right? If anyone's bringing Charizard for some reason, they get that as well easily by themselves. Who else? We got Olivia, Sceptile. They could all max it out themselves. No issue. I don't know why they just swapped into... Oh, well, he's the only non-mega. That's why they're using his sync move. Because sync move power is much higher than Charizard's and Houndoom's. But anyways, that's me for this one, basically. So, I guess it seems like the best option is just go Karen. Karen and either Grimsley or someone else in the back, right? Just in case Karen dies. So Karen plus whatever in the back. I guess NPCs are probably safer. And just do co-op very hard. That seems like the best route to go, even with the single player stages. They did say they decreased the difficulty of this event. I don't really think they decreased it like that. I mean, sure they decreased it, but it's not like... Okay, actually no. It was an okayish amount, but it's not like... It's definitely not as easy as the Solgaleo or Rayquaza events. It's probably still the hardest of the three, but it's just not that hard. It's really, really hard to lose this time around. Last time around, if you weren't like maybe in some certain scenarios, you can win with auto. But this time, but most of the time, it's kind of tough to win with auto, especially with randos outside. So yeah, it's much better this time. The grind is much easier. So again, grind out your Mewtwo's, folks. Again, Mewtwo's really good. Try your best to finish up Mewtwo while the event lasts. So anyways, that's me for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And I barely did anything over there. Like for half of the match, I was AFK, talking about the video and stuff. Half the match I was AFK and we still won. So, and let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel for some more Power Masters content. I'll see you guys in the next one.